like a rock.
A rock.
It's like over by, you know, like the one part of the cemetery that's like gravestones, but it's also like these lines of like these tall like floral bushes and like the really pretty like
Yeah, towards the
trees.
top. Yeah. You were saying near the pond. That's
Oh
like,
no, I guess that's like a separate. Those are two separate locations. My bad. I meant like and this other spot. My bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. You'd have to give me something specific.
I don't know. It's like a cool grave, but like I hang out with him a lot.
Yeah. I also have my like spots here, like over the years that I've just kind of developed of like where to just be, and there's probably like 6 or 7 like major spots that I'm always at, like the pit stop of the day, and then there's probably like 50 or 60 like ancillary smaller little spots where I'll go to just like smoke a bowl or like. But I also have like tactical pee spots. I have tactical disappearing spots. Like I got all the strats worked out here. I'm just like trying to like be here as long as possible, away from everyone as long as possible. That's like always the goal.
Yeah.
I appreciate you joining me today.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking of coming here, and like I was not sold on the idea of coming here, and like you hit me up exactly when I was making the decision. I was like, yeah, that makes it then.
Yeah.
You hit. Oh, this is filming the wrong way.
Meeting up with bands.
To like do music with, you mean?
Yeah.
This is cardamine diphalia, and it's growing here at the cemetery. Yeah. Google Lens. It can identify anything, not just flowers. There's a bunch of them that do like flower identification better than Google does it. I just use Google because it's more convenient, it's faster. But yeah, there's like a bunch of apps that like people have. I had to run back to the car. I found Sweet Woodruff. It's called Sweet Woodruff. I needed the breather. I left my bag. But yeah, Sweet Woodruff. Alright, here we go. Oh yeah, like the red?
Yeah.
I like the like laughing madness of it.
Thanks. It's how I feel sometimes.
Yeah. My friends were like, what is this supposed to be? I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's just mental illness. Like, I don't think it's supposed to be anything. Like,
you got it.
It's just a feeling. Like, it's kind of like Junji Ito is how I looked at it. Like abstract Junji Ito. A bunch of plants, but we found Jack in the Pulpit. I'm pretty sure this is what it's called. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I'm pretty darn sure that's called Jack in the Pulpit. What a wacky plant. What's today, May 5th? 2023? Yeah, May 5th.
Cinco de Mayo.
Oh shit, it is. You see my hands, it's cute. You see like specifically which ones I point to? The shadow?
Which one?
No, look, like,
Oh.
yeah, you can see like which one.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. I'm kind of dark today. Sometimes I like to just organize everything first. And then once you organize the pieces, then you can create something with it. And that's why my art takes so long to make, because I spend literally hours organizing.
My fiction takes years to make, and most people never get to hear it because I'm really bad at writing in order. I create like whirlpools of fiction in my head, and then I have to learn how to swim in those whirlpools at the correct pace in order to keep up with the story that exists in every single position as a superposition at once. And then I have to learn how to like have it flow out of me. And then so it's like I'm not like a movie producer yet. I'm a storyteller. So I have no idea how to write a movie script, but I know how to tell and create stories. So one of the things that I'm doing this year is I'm saving up money so I can buy somebody, like literally just buy someone to help me put together the actual script of my different ideas, because my ideas are brilliant. And I've actually it's funny to say this. This is like, it's like I'm bragging, but at the same time I'm frustrated because like I know for a fact I'm a genius. I'm actually like a fucking literal genius. But here's the problem with that. I can't do anything on my own. Like I need a group of about 6 or 7 people before I become operable. And once I become operable, I will be a systems engineer master, and I will be able to create and maintain a spiritual juggernaut of a creative powerhouse, like think tank, so that we can like work for whoever and get hired and just like get a lot of money to probably just do advertising and write basic stories for like video games, like any different given fantasy nonsense that just needs a little bit better story. And then on top of that, it doesn't actually matter if I'm a genius or not. It really doesn't, because I'm trans and I get it's kind of like having like modern affirmative action. Everyone wants to hire me, with the exception of the Republicans. They want to hang me by a rope. But those people notwithstanding, everyone else, it's like brownie points when they hire me. But I don't really want to get hired. That's the thing. I want to have enough power to hire 8 or 9 people to work on my creative team. And then I want to make and produce movies and commercials as like a career. But I don't have startup capital or executive function skills to do that. So I'm kind of just stuck infantilized because I'm autistic and can't really like save up to do that. Because like if I had to pay someone like an hourly wage, I can only work for like 40 hours a week. So if I need them to do 40 hours of work, that's literally all my money. And then I'm broke. And that's why, you know, I mean, like, how many creative projects just die because people just don't have money even if they're a creative genius? Like, I think about that all the time. Probably the majority, if not, like the overwhelming majority, I would think. Oh. Hi. Huh? I have to know the whole question, otherwise it's gonna drive me nuts.
Do you ever think about how you can figure out a way to have a part of this group that you're thinking of be like the money?
Say again?
You could have a part of this group be the money.
What's that mean?
So like you focus a lot on trying to pay the artists, but you as yourself would be one of the minds. You don't have to be the money.
Yeah, I've thought about producing. I've thought about producing like spearfishing content, but the equivalent of a white papers version of spearfishing, where like I write Valentines very selectively. I know who the right people are to talk to and how to talk to them. I just have to find them, and I am 1/2 of 1 year, maybe 1 full year, away from starting to do exactly what you said, where instead of trying to get money to put the team together, I try to find a financier to just like, bro, just give me literally $30,000. I promise you we can produce at least 12 good
Not
chapters.
even just one person.
Well, once one person funds it, then I can go and like produce like some content to then go wider with. Like I wouldn't want to go to Kickstarter off bat. Maybe though.
Well, what it sounds like is you need to find people who believe in the mission, and then once you have
And
enough
also
people
have
who
free
believe-
time.
Yeah.
That's
And
the
once you
impossible part.
believe in the mission and have free time.
Yeah, that's the impossible part around here. Like, my friends are in for it, you know, they're all like, oh, I'll do this, I'll do that. And I'm like, yeah, I know you will, but you also have kids and a job. Like, I love you, but it can't happen like that. But yeah, I do think that there's definitely a creative market out there that once I solve a few more of my, like I've pretty much solved most of the autistic, like, oh shit, I can't live on my own problems at this point. It didn't used to be like that. Like, I used to be like needing like an autism aid that I never grew up with and never had. But if I had one, it would have been good. But since I didn't, everything got kind of wacky. And now everything's all wacky. I also want to start a band, but I don't know how to do that, like at all.
Well, I play bass.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know what to do with that.
Bass?
Yeah.
You don't have to know what to do with the
I
And
barely
then
know how to
when
do it. I barely know that.
When I take your root notes, right,
Uh-huh.
and I create a rhythm with your roots.
We could
That's
try
what
that.
I
That'd be
do.
pretty adorable. We could make some pretty badass punk songs. What genre of music do you want to make?
I like punk a lot. I like,
I feel like I have
like
played guitar for you
everything.
before, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. I can never remember like who I played for these days.
many of times.
Good.
You actually used to play guitar for me before we even really hung out.
That's cute. Tell all the people.
So these are the oldest pennies in the middle, and then it goes slowly out to the newest pennies.
By the years, right?
By the years, yeah.
That's pretty incredible.
Thanks.
This probably took what, like about a half an hour?
I don't know, how long have you been sitting here?
I don't know. I'm pretty high. I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty stoned.
You can walk around. Weird situation, because when I moved back to Albany, everyone had known that like my male partner had turned into a female, and this had became like this weird thing where I started to realize what people like thought that meant of me,
Oh yeah. Oh, you've been on the other end of that.
and it was
Yep.
insane. I was like, this is like disgusting. Like things that people would message me about, like things that they thought I was like.
It's even worse when kids are involved, because almost always it ends in divorce. How could it not? And divorce means that you have to split custody of children, and that immediately, basically, the equivalent of criminalizes being trans. If you choose to have your own life over your family, you're a
Really?
criminal. Yeah. I mean, like, yeah. I mean, if you divorce your wife because you're just like, fuck you, I'm a woman,
Well, luckily
you've
we never
betrayed
had
your family.
kids,
That's how
but-
people view it. Like, obviously, you know, I see it from the
It was
inside.
just so weird, though. Like, the amount of people that asked me really intense questions about, like, just weird things. The
Yeah.
amount of, like, men that had known that this was a situation and would, like, be like, I'm not into being pegged. Like, right off the bat. That's what they would say to me. Like, point down. Like, I know what you're into. And I would just be like, what the fuck? Where did that come from? I didn't even say that to you. Just like right off the bat. Like I would be at like house shows and like guys would be like that with me. They'd be like, so like, are you into pegging? So is like that what you're into? I'm not into pegging, just so you know.
Just so you know.
I don't like when people touch my butt. Like people would just say that to me. Like it was very uncomfortable.
I think a lot of that comes down to those people, like,
It was so weird.
there's a misogyny to that, because like, why, like, are they gonna say that to their other bros? Like, say that there's like a gay dude, are they gonna be like, oh, what's up, bro, my friend told me you were gay, just so you know, don't put it in my butt? Or is it because you're female and they think that they could overpower you if they had to, if they wanted to psychologically damage you, that they're gloating their own like toxic masculinity? Like, oh yeah, like, by the way, I'm wearing cologne and I could like fucking kill you in a bathroom and no one would care, I'm a male. Like, that's the same power energy as like asking you and telling you what they do and do not want sexually, because it immediately sexualizes you as an entity. Like, they're
Yeah.
not talking to you as like, hey, I really like your hat. They're talking to you as just like, hey, what size is your pussy on the pussy scale? Like,
Yeah,
that's just like,
that's the weirdest part about it. Is
Yeah.
It felt like it was like just very much like a weird thing that became my reality for a minute. And I was just like, this is very.
want to be part of the transgender greater community polycule. Like, I'm just not part of it. So I just don't tell any of the trans girls that actually have dated trans girls. Because if that gets out and people know, because no one around here knows that, because she was like a drifter. It was weird. Thanks for listening. Yeah, you're the only person I've ever told that to. I don't even think my partner knows that. Because I just don't want them like questioning all the stuff about my sexuality.
I mean, that does make sense though, because that was sort of.
Go do it. Like, babe, go do it. Like, you will be happier to get a reduction. You're talking about it all the time. Like, do it. And instead, they're not doing it. I don't really understand. But they're busy with other stuff in their life. But, like, I couldn't possibly deal with my partner, or really anybody, like being like, oh, like, remember how I have this forearm? Well, they're gonna slice this part and make a dick. I'll be like, that's wonderful. Like, me and you have to break up though. Like, it's not something that I can, like, we can downgrade and maybe like see what's left, but I can't have a psychosocial sexual relationship. If that triangle gets snipped, it's just empty space and chaos. There's nothing holding it together. Like, for me, the sexual component, like, if I'm not bonding that way with someone, then we're not like dating and together like that. Like, I have some close friends that, like, I'm close enough to, even non-sexually, that people on the outside of our relationship would probably assume, based on the way that I speak about them, that we're sexually intimate together. That's just my assumption, though. I couldn't tell you how the world really views it. But, like, I think there's also a stigma with trans people that we're all sluts, because we are. And so there's also this weird transphobic thing that happens to the people around us, where the people around us will see that they're hanging out, that I'm hanging out with someone, and the assumption is that that person's either fucking me or I'm fucking them. Even when it's totally platonic. Like, I've had people say, like, yo, what's she like in bed? And I'm like, who? And they're like, oh, like X and Y friend. I'm like, why, first of all, are you asking me? That's creepy. And second of all, why do you assume that I would know? Or are you just lording your dick over me, pretending like I should know, just trying to, be my bro? Like, that's not a bro question to ask me, dude. That's really weird. And, like, that's happened, like, a lot. Less frequently, significantly less frequency, as I have cut down on the amount of men that I'll use the word fraternize, but it isn't the word I mean, associate with men, as I have taken that number from, like, an odd 20 down to 0. None.
I've had men do that to me, though. Like, guys will ask me about my female friends.
With the assumption that you slept with them?
I slept with them.
I always try to throw a peace sign to my camera, and then I use it as interludes for my silly vlog. That is kind of adorable.
It was, like, really cute, and I would, like, do their hair. I'm like, I don't know.
That sounds really ideal.
But, like, their family was military. Like, they used to have to go to military programs and shit. So, like...
Yeah, I can see where the stigma trauma.
There was, like, a lot of not wanting to come out publicly or even transition or do anything.
Democrat voters, but otherwise leftist mental like they just have normie jobs. Like, when all my normie friends start posting about, like, actual trans women, that's, like, rare that happens. This is Lily of the Valley. But when it does happen, I can be relatively sure that everyone that is trans is hearing about it. If the cis people are posting about it, it means all of the trans people already know about it. And every once in a while I'm surprised because my cis friends are ahead on the trans stuff. I'm like, oh, that's good at least. It means I'm not paying attention, which is good for my mental health. I don't want to pay attention. It's boring. I don't want to be trans. I want to be a cat. Party of people. But yeah, I've only ever known one person to be attracted to things that weren't people, and they were attracted to trees. And also people, but also trees. What'd you find? There'll probably be a funeral here tomorrow then. Is the casket in there? It can't be, right? That'd be creepy.